curious how long this has kind of been in the works. How long have you known that Big Tens are going to be here this time around?
Oh, gosh. I think we definitely knew Big Tens were going to be here in Madison for the last year, for sure. That's something that we kind of, try to pre-plan in advance. It's not just a surprise. But I know Big Tens were in Wisconsin, I believe, in 2019. And the feedback from how Wisconsin ran it in 2019 was nothing but fantastic. So we're looking to replicate that, if not improve upon it, for this year.
How do you do that? What are the changes or the improvements or the things that you kind of got feedback on and we can do this better this time?
I think just making sure that the regatta is a little more tight in how it's run in terms of just timing, but otherwise, in all honesty, they had nothing but good things to say about it last time.
I remember some of the logistical challenges being, you've got seems like such a big area, but really when you're bringing boats in, you're bringing people in, it does have to be kind of this finely choreographed operation.
Yes.
How much work has to go into that to make sure you've got timing right, you don't want to back things up, obviously.
Right. No, a lot of timing goes into it. And thankfully, coaches are actually not involved in that it's a lot more of the logistical behind the scenes. And they have been very busy at work in terms of coordinating all that. We have an amazing amount of people here at Wisconsin that have been contracted out by the Big Ten to do it. And they are doing a fantastic job of setting it all up.
In terms of a site where I know you row a lot of places, and that's unique in that it's kind of just surrounded by hills, correct?
Yes.
How does that change things? How does that impact the actual rowing?
It shouldn't impact it too much. Obviously, wind is always the biggest factor when it comes to rowing. If it kind of can, skew some results based on where the lanes are and wind direction. But thankfully, Devil's Lake is pretty protected. There's a lot of beautiful scenic cliffs, as we all know. And it should be a race course that will be pretty protected and, most importantly, fair to everybody that's coming in to race.
Talk about what people who go can see, how they can see this, what they might look for, I guess, or how you would watch a race there if you were just a spectator.
Well, as a spectator, I would say probably the most exciting area to watch would be in the last 500, because that's where a lot of positionings in terms of placement within the race kind of change. And certainly I know we are needing a couple more volunteers to help out for Big Ten. So if people want to come on down, do stake boat holding, which is like holding the boat at the starting line. Very exciting vantage point to watch boats take off and build speed, but also to help out with the regatta is always really important. But I would say you're not going to have a bad place to view. I think there's really fantastic viewing throughout the whole course at Devil's Lake, and you're always going to see some action wherever you stand.
You go north to south, south to north. How does?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot. I would say I'm not actually sure the direction.
North to south, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
About your team, what would you say you're looking forward to out of the results you've seen so far, and then how they can kind of improve that, or
Great question. No, I think looking ahead at Big Tens, we have about 2 weeks before that final last little push of speed, and I think we've had a really good trajectory of the season, keep building off each performance, getting a little bit more quick, a little bit cleaner technically. We just came back from the Windermere Cup this weekend, and we had a lot of really good performances in our 4 and our 2v8, and we're looking to keep pushing that speed throughout the whole squad.
I know you've got Olympics coming up. How does that impact the rowing community in the wake of that, I guess?
Yes.
When people see that, and then the next year, have you found that there's a bounce in rowing and just general interest, or maybe people getting involved in it?
I would say yes. I think that rowing is kind of an obscure sport for most of the year, but the Olympics definitely highlights it as such an amazing sport that we all know that it is. And, on a smaller level here at Wisconsin, we have 2 athletes, Maddie Wanamaker and Sophia Vitas, that are already qualified and will be competing in the games. So we expect there to be a lot more hype around here supporting them, and also showing that, they were both walk-ons. If they can do it, so can you.
I know you've got more.
I'll stick on that topic quick.
Yes.
I know there's 2 more rowers that are still going for a chance at that. I don't know if do you stay in touch with any of these people? And
they're very busy, very limited. I do know that Lauren O'Connor and, oh my gosh, I can't think of Grace Joyce, thank you, Grace is going to kill me for that, that they just left, I believe, yesterday to go to Italy to do a little bit of training camp before the final qualification regatta.
Is there, do you know their prospects of making it? Do you know much about how that last regatta is going to work?
The FRQ regatta is very tense because those are all countries and athletes that are fighting for the last possible spots at the games. So it is fierce. It is a very tough regatta, and I wouldn't say that anybody has an advantage or a disadvantage going into it. I think athletes truly bring their best performances at that race, so it's gonna be challenging no matter what.
Just talk about the Olympic tradition here.
Yes.
It's been a long time. You're
Yes.
kind of involved in that as well.
Yes.
Just what does that mean to the rowing program here?
I think it means a lot. I think that for such a strong team and culture that's been built around walk-ons, and honestly, a majority of our most successful athletes have been walk-ons that have come through Wisconsin. I think just knowing that you can pick up a sport at the D1 level in college and, continue to grow, get better, get more fit, and take it all the way to possibly winning an Olympic gold medal is amazing. There's very few sports that you can do that, and I think it also speaks a testament to the Wisconsin culture that you grow such a love for this sport here, that you keep wanting to go and keep getting better at it, that I think is the most important part of it.
Okay. Jumping around a little bit, you talked about the Windermere Cup a little bit before. Just talk about the uniqueness of that, kind of both the men and the women being there. It's kind of a cool thing. I don't know the last time they've been at the same event.
Yes.
I can't remember ever happening, but I'm sure it has. Just what was it like to race at that event?
Oh, it was awesome. I think we have so few regattas where we get to go with the men's team on the side of things, and to be there as one big Badger family was tremendous. And, Washington does a top-notch job of, running that regatta, and there's so many spectators. It's such a unique race course to get to race at that I know the athletes enjoyed it, the coaches enjoyed it, and it's something that I hope we can find regattas in the future to do together.
Is there any other races like that?
Ooh, besides maybe the Head of the Charles or the Crew Classic, I can't think of many more regattas that we as open weights have an opportunity to race with our men's team.
So you guys race there. Devil's Lake is kind of a special place. You also have been to Sarasota this year.
Oh, yes.
How cool is that the places you guys have gotten to row? I mean, Lake Mendota is beautiful, but those are pretty special events too.
Yes, absolutely. The Sarasota course is an amazing venue. They've put a lot of resources into building that to be a top-notch facility, and it certainly shows. And I think the more opportunities that our athletes have to be at those race courses, to line up against, teams across our country, grows their skill level and pushes them forward to be better athletes. That grows our program.
You touched a little bit on it, but just the progress of your team this spring, your first year as a head coach,
Yes.
how's the team taking steps so far this spring?
A lot of good steps. I know certainly me and my staff have learned a lot throughout this year, and we're going to keep learning a lot, but I think it's been something tremendous that we've seen, how much our athletes have just adapted, have grown, and have pushed boundaries, to be honest, to be better, not only, athletes here at the Boathouse, but better people. And it's something that I think is extremely important, because that's part of being a rower, is supporting each other and trying to be the best version of yourself in every capacity, and that bleeds into performing well, and they've taken a lot of great steps on that path.
Last one quick, back to Devil's Lake
Yes.
again. Have you rowed there? Have you coached there?
I've actually never rowed at Devil's Lake. I think I hiked it when I was in high school, but otherwise that's the full capacity that I've really been at Devil's Lake.
So you've only been there one time?
I've been there twice, but never as a rowing venue.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. You're from here, right?
I am from here, but honestly, it's just haven't gotten up there as much as I should. It is beautiful, but
Awesome.
yes.
Let me just make sure I'm good. Oh, no, I have one more big one.
Yes.
So the announcers for the Big Ten, from what I understand, it's Phoebe Bryans, Grace Latz, and Mandy Kowal.
Oh my gosh.
So obviously someone you practiced under and kind of coached under,
Yes.
someone you rowed with,
Yes.
and then also Mandy Kowal is a Badger and
A legend.
former coach and legend world
Yes.
champion.
Yes.
It sounds like maybe you didn't know that, but
No, I didn't know about Mandy. That's
just
great.
the reaction of how that's, if you're in the rowing world, at least Wisconsin especially, that's a big time group of people announcing.
Absolutely. No, I think Grace, she has, I would say, been doing more and more announcing, and she did a fantastic job. I believe she was the announcer for Olympic trials just recently and did a wonderful job doing that. BB, familiar with the program, has been, a legend within the Big Ten, certainly. I think she'll do an amazing job. And Mandy is a legend here at Wisconsin, has been an elite rower. I think all three of them are a dream team that are going to really do a great job. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
It must be cool for your athletes to know they're getting a chance to be on PTN then too, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Oh,
That
absolutely.
doesn't happen a ton of times.
Rowing doesn't get a lot of, I would say, airtime in terms of TV, but I'm constantly impressed by how much better job rowing is sort of broadcasted, like, with drones and cameras on the boats. Like, I think you're getting a lot more, we like to say, like the pain face, that you can see the athletes really giving it their all, and that makes for some good viewing.
Awesome. I think I'm good.
Awesome.
One more. Sorry.
Yes.
Tell me about Macy. How would you?
Macy is, we describe her as, like, honestly, a beacon of positivity light on our team. She is just, it's hard to put into words how amazing Macy is. She truly wants the best for every single athlete on this team, and she is so giving. You couldn't ask for a better teammate. Truly, she's a fierce competitor. So it's a perfect balance of someone who is extremely kind, is supportive to her teammates, but you put her out on the water and she's ready to tear it up.